Hi there. So, part of my creative process is just being passionate about things, and I kind of suppose that's probably the case for most people doing a creative project. So, this video, I'm not going to design games, I'm not going to play games. What I'm going to do is design a knife. You see, I was watching some YouTube videos, blah, 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 Scholagladiatoria, something like that. And he talks about medieval weapons, and he showed his 5 favorite fighting knives, and my mind was blown. I didn't realize a knife could be so complicated in design. And so after watching that, I thought, that's really cool. It's designing a knife kind of feels like something interesting to do. But I remembered the video, put it to the back of my mind, and then but more recently, I watched a video from Fandabi Dozi, his YouTube channel, talking about the Highland Dirk. So the Highland Dirk was the traditional knife of the Highlands, and apparently everyone of the time would carry a dirk with them, and it was part of their warrior culture. And then that got me thinking about: is there something like that in from my culture, from England, or from maybe more specifically to my area? And no, there's the longbow. Could carry the longbow as a trinket. Uh, nah. So, so recently I've been thinking about, could I have matched those two ideas together? I mean, the ideas that I'm most passionate about are the ones that have come from various different sources. And so I thought maybe putting these two ideas together, like to make a fake traditional knife of my area. So my area is Durham. It's a small mining city, and it's mining's part of the culture still there, even though it's been decades since the mines have been opened. Uh, I mean, we have every year we have a, a parade, you would call it, through the city, and also there's loads of monuments all around for to do with the mines. So it's definitely part of the culture, and so I thought I'll try and design a traditional knife for inspired by that, inspired by my culture. So I thought this would be an everyday carry knife, and well, let's get a picture of this. I'll draw a picture quickly, and uh, yeah, and I'll explain it too. So here's one that I made earlier. So the first thing you probably notice is this crossguard part. So it's supposed to look like a kind of like a small pick. I remember a story that a friend was telling me that he during the miners' strike, people would just go into a field and a certain field nearby where I lived and would mine their own coal for their own needs. So I really like that thought that they were, yeah, they were independent. Like they could, like miners would just gather coal for themselves. And for an everyday carry, that tool that would be very useful. Something that they would use, not so much for working in the mines because they would have a proper pick for that. But yeah, something inspired by the mines, something from that culture. And on the opposite side would be a kind of like a hammer. I imagine maybe this would be made from a spike, some kind like for holding down tracks or something like that. That they've forged or welded or whatever onto the knife blade. Imagine it being useful for like gathering bits of coal or something, but also maybe carving into wood. Maybe apply pressure onto the blunt end to push it through the wood. And the blunt end could also be used as a light hammer. So essentially, a spike with a handle. And then the handle is quite long. That's for to get good leverage on the pick, so that you could give it a good swing. And here it has. Thing about mine is that of where I come from, you could say that they were proud to be humble and of simple means. So I imagine I wanted to put a pommel on, but not to add something else to use as a pommel. Imagine that this pommel would be made just by cutting away some of the handle, just to create a little space where to grip it more effectively. And and we go on to the knife. The knife blade wouldn't be very, very long, because then as you're using the pick end, it would hit off rocks or other things around and would be damaged, so it's not practical to have a long bladed knife. And here we have the back curving in. That's so that the point is more in line with the length of the blade, so it's a straight line. Not an expert in these things, but I have a feeling that gives the point a lot more strength. And yeah, and then it has a ring here. That's so that you can put your finger through there to grip it. And primarily that's for preparing things with wood whittling, or preparing things for a camp or something like that. Just to give it more, the user more control. And a ring here for the finger. I also imagine that the ring would give more strength and support to the pick, so that it might not bend with use. And yeah, that's my knife design. And I'll show you another picture. Made a paper mache version, just to get a good feel for it. Yeah. So I don't really know what this project will be. I hardly imagine that someone from the Durham County Council is going to ring me up and say, "Big Al, we need 1,000 of these to represent our culture." No, so it's probably not going to be used for its purpose. Like I said at the beginning, be passionate about things. Like, do little creative things like this, and maybe I'll just keep this with the rest of my toys, rest of my little projects, and I'm sure one day there'll be the perfect project for it, where it's an amalgamation of many other things that have all come together. But imagine maybe if I was to create a fantasy dwarven society, that they might carry this thing. So yeah, it's just like I call them my ideas that I keep in my pocket. Just like little random ideas for games, or for just fantasy creative things that I think about, develop in my own imagination, so that I can maybe use them later in some other project. So yeah, this one was something I was thinking for a while, but thought it was too dumb to do. But I kept on thinking and thought, let's just put my thoughts onto paper mache. And yeah, hope you enjoy this. It feels kind of fun to design weapons, and I'm gonna be doing some of that when I make models for games. And yeah, we'll see each other in another video. Thanks. Bye. And one last thing, I forgot to name this little device. Like the Dirk of Durham, maybe. Now I was thinking, first of all, I was thinking pit knife, but that's a brand I found out for a knife that's meant for fire pits. Maybe Colliery knife, because that's a word used with them in connection with the mines.